go through a 45-point inspection prior to every recording session to ensure highest audio quality and primo pod content.
Yes.
And that's a guarantee. And that's a guarantee from us to you. So, hey, guys, welcome to Cold Hands, Warm Hearts. The monitors are off, the mic's on, and we're ready to do whatever this is. Hey.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's going. Today?
You know, I find that that's an oddly dismissive answer to how's it going. Because I already know that it's going. Mm-hmm. I need to know what direction. I need to know what trajectory. I need to know what plans. I want to know what successes and failures. I want to know what you ate. I want to know what it did to you. I want to know what you did to the toilet bowl.
Oh.
I want to know the ins and outs of what's going, not just it's going. Hey guys, welcome to Cold Hands, Warm Hearts. It's going. It's going. I'm Brandon. I'm one half of the Cold Hands, Warm Hearts podcasting duo.
Hi, guys. I'm Ashley Engle. I'm the other half. Welcome to episode 53 of the podcast. We're so happy to have you here. Producer is posted up over here with a cup of iced coffee.
He's and that's how it's going.
Because it's hot outside.
Because it's hot, guys. Don't come in here with a rockin' hot cup of Java. Have you ever heard a person when you hear people refer to it as Java? Do you want to say quit it?
Well, I assume they're speaking about the computer
About
language.
the computer, sure. What are you going to do this morning? I'm going to get myself a hot cup of computer language.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take on this day.
That's what I always assume.
Java, Joe, cup of Joe. Mm-hmm. What are other terms for coffee?
Hot bean water?
Hot roasting bean water. How do you feel about a black coffee, just straight black?
You know, I used to drink my coffee black in college and right out of college. Now I take it with just a splash of heavy cream.
Huh.
No sweet, though. I don't like flavored coffees. I don't like sweet stuff in there. I don't like it.
Man, I'm just diesel. Black coffee straight to the dome.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's
go. Arm wrestle. You know? Shut up, Karen, with your spreadsheets and your HR course.
What?
Yeah, I have to take an HR course because I ripped off a dude's arm wrestling, and now
Got it. We needed more information.
I know, and if you would have asked, oh wait, you have a HR course you have to attend, and I just went, it's going. You wouldn't have gotten that primo story.
You wouldn't have heard about Karen.
You wouldn't have heard about Karen. Did I say
my
Karen?
hot bean water.
Karen and the Hot Bean Water. Worst children's book ever. Yeah.
So what you been up to these last couple of days?
Yeah, because it's not weekend. Because spoiler alert, guys. If I can open the kimono with you guys for just a second,
I've never heard that expression, but man, is it descriptive.
If I can be open kimono with you guys for just a moment, I would like to tell you that we're recording this on a Friday, not a Monday. Yeah. So if we got that big Friday energy,
right?
You know who to blame for it. Played. I'm exhausted today.
I wanted to hear all about it.
Played some music last night again with the very kind and considerate Grady Spencer in the work.
Hi, Grady,
for having me out to play in Tulsa at the Mercury Lounge. And so I'm dragging a little bit.
It was a long
today.
night. Did you stay the night there or did you come home?
No, after? I came home.
That is a late night.
Listen, here's what I did. I was double
at age 40.
I know. A dude came up to me after I played, and he had imbibed, and he said to me, first thing he said, not hello, not what's your name, not nice to meet you, not hi, I'm Randy. It was, how old are you? And I said,
Pardon me, sir.
And I said, I'm 40. First off, you never ask a lady her age, sir. I said, I'm 40. And he goes, expletive, you're 40? And I don't know if that meant expletive, you don't quite look 40, or expletive, you look way older than 40. But then he proceeded to go, well, I'm 46. Still don't know the man's name. And I was like, that's cool. And his girlfriend or wife,
His gal pal,
clearly has, at the very least, a master's in wrangling this man when he's in this state. Grabbed him by the arm very lightly as if to say, you stop it. You stop the thing that you're doing. Yeah. Stop it. And then I can tell, I don't know if they really liked my music or if this was a pity purchase just to call off the dogs, but she bought a record.
Did you sign it?
Yeah, I did.
Did you say, dear guy?
I just signed.
Hey, guy.
I just signed 40. That's all I'm going to put on it.
And he won't remember what that means.
He'll be like, wait a minute.
I'm 46.
That's what he'll do. He'll jump straight to it.
Oh, but it was a good night. It was fun.
It was super fun. It's always super fun. I was slinging double duty because I got off stage sweaty.
Were you solo in it?
I was solo in it because it was a little bit of a last minute thing.
Yeah.
And so I went and I immediately went over to the merch table and I slung some merch for the work.
Yeah.
So much merch work.
Yeah.
Dude. And so that was my double duty. I got hugged by a dear friend of mine, Nick. Nick. Dear friend who showed up. And I'm going to shout out all the people who came out in just a minute.
Yeah.
He gave me a hug. And he's so sweet. He's the sweetest person in the world. Gave me a hug and then just goes, oh, you're all sweaty. That's all he said. So what we've discovered about me at the merch table is I'm 40.
Yes.
And I'm sweaty.
Hey,
guys, I'm Brandon Birdwell. I'm one half of the Cold Hands Warm Hearts podcasting duo. I'm 40 and I'm sweaty.
Welcome.
I'm Barned Beefwell and I'm 40 and I'm sweaty. Anyways.
It's going.
Yeah, it's going, and it's kind of going. No, the people that showed up, I'm giving them shout outs.
Okay.
Dear friend Luke Higgins.
Dear friend.
Dear friend Andy Ragsdale.
Nice.
Dear friend Clark Cottongim, who also purchased a record. Dear friend Robert Bippus.
Yeah.
And podcast loyalist Robert Bippus.
Really?
He has a lot to say about it. First thing he said to me was, I don't have any questions to ask about you or how it's going because I know.
It's true. There's no mystery anymore.
Yeah. Dear friend Nick showed up. Nice. Nick Johnson.
Yes.
So it was a
lot of your fraternity bros.
A lot of dudes showed up to listen to my sad boy nonsense.
That's so sweet, so encouraging.
So sweet,
for this
so encouraging.
40-year-old sweaty man.
Guys, listen. As a new Make-A-Wish type thing, this week is International Make a Sweaty 40-Year-Old Feel Good Week, and all my friends got it done.
They got it done.
Whew.
Well, I'm happy for you. I'm glad that was good. He's fanning his pits.
That's good physical comedy for an audio podcast.
So I'll have to describe to you what he's doing. I'm so glad. I wanted to hear about that, and I'm sorry we couldn't make it out to Tulsa last night. But
do you think for a moment that I thought you were going to pack it up?
Come on, kids.
And make it down to the
up,
Mercury Lounge in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Speaking of which, one last shout out I forgot to bring up. The son of the one and only Grammy Lindsay,
yes.
Ryan Lindsay, came out.
Our other Crindy.
And it was so great to see him.
Hi, Ryan.
And
oh my gosh, that's awesome.
We had a whole conversation around
Broncho. Check out their music.
About how one of his distinct core memories is the snack trays that Crindy made for him. And
she makes a mean snack tray.
How those have informed his snack tray making to this day.
High praise.
And then he sent me a picture this morning that's just a picture of his mom at a Cracker Barrel and said, met my parents at Cracker Barrel. That's all he said. That's it.
That's the news you need.
Anyway, so that's what I've been up to.
You did have a delightful night.
A lot of people, a lot of dear friends. It was great.
That's going to carry you through.
Yeah, spoiler alert, it might be my warm heart.
Okay. We'll see. We'll hear it again at the end.
Yeah. The whole thing, like that whole thing again at the end. Right. We're just going to go through all of it.
All those 8 minutes.
Yep.
Here we go. So we would have come last night. Not really, but Jeff Engle, listen, did you hear what happened to Jeff Engle?
No.
Okay. For those of you who've been listening for a while, you know that my husband, Jeff, has a job that takes him around the world.
Around the world.
Frequently.
We don't know what he does.
He's an around the way guy.
It's what he is. It's what he is.
So
deep cut, weird reference.
I know, super weird.
For those of you that don't know the LL Cool J song "Round the Way Girl" from the 1990s.
We're full of 90s references these last
Welcome
several
back to KMOX 103.1, Throwback Hip Hop and R&B. Coming up next at the top of the hour, we've got Around the Way Girl, LL Cool J. That's my DJ voice.
From the 90s. It was great. So Jeff travels frequently for his job. He was in India last week, and he visited several cities in India while there. It was kind of a whirlwind trip for him. Flew from, let's see, this would have been 3 days ago. Started his journey from Calcutta to Doha, Doha to Chicago, Chicago to OKC. On the flight, the second leg from Doha to Chicago.
Oh, I do know about this.
Jeff Engle was stricken with a horrible case of food poisoning. And he spent 6 hours, guys, in the airplane bathroom.
Barfing in an airplane bathroom.
6 hours.
Dude.
Guys, nightmare scenario.
You want to talk about...
And he said I could tell this story.
Almost on par with going number poop in a porta-john.
Wow.
Barfing in it. Can you... Dude,
way worse. Being ill in an airplane bathroom.
yeah, but it's, but
they're
it's...
so small.
But it's air travel.
And then but then that everyone is knowing that you're in there.
Yeah.
And you've commandeered that bathroom for 6 hours. It was bad, guys. Poor guy.
Can you imagine if you act with your head in that toilet? 30,000 feet.
Just all of it.
Can you imagine with
awful.
your head in that toilet accidentally pushing the flush button as heavy as those things flush?
Listen, that
Suck
blue
you right
water.
out. Suck you right out. Honestly, have you ever tried this? If you ever need to go number 2 in an airplane, here's the life hack for you guys.
Guys, I'm sorry.
You don't even need to work. You just sit down and push the button.
No, guys, I'm so sorry.
Just sucks it right out of you.
Anyway, poor Jeff.
Ugh.
It was a nightmare scenario. The flight attendants were concerned for his well-being. They got a doctor to check on him. They gave him oxygen at one point.
At any point, did anyone stand up and scream, "Is there a doctor on the plane?"
I hope so, because that kind of drama is what I live for.
That's an opportunity to live out a movie.
A cinematic.
What a crappy movie. Just a middle-aged business traveler barfs on a plane. In a world where a man who travels for business ate something oddly sinister in Calcutta. One man will rise and barf in an airplane bathroom for 6 straight hours. Is there a doctor on the plane? Ugh. Jeff Engle in. Businessman barf a lot. Working title.
We'll workshop it.
Calcutta much? I don't know. These are taglines. There's no bad ideas in the idea phase.
Calcutta.
This is a yes and portion.
Oh, guys, it was bad. Listen, that was 2 days ago. He is still exhausted.
Got a case of the Burma barfs.
Okay.
I don't know.
Wow. Anyway, I'm sorry. I knew where Brandon would take this, but Jeff did give me permission to tell that story. And his appetite is still not great. He's exhausted. He's sore.
Sure.
So tired. Anyway.
Dude, listen.
That's why we didn't come see you in Tulsa.
That's the reason. Man.
I know.
Like 6 hours straight. He didn't leave the bathroom. He was there the whole time.
I think he might have.
Did he pop a squat? Did he lay down? How did he do it? Did he contort his body and pretzel himself up?
You're going to have to get more details from him. It's one of those things where I haven't wanted to ask him tons of questions about it because he's still been a little bit nauseous. He thinks it was some fish. Oh. Some fishy fish.
Well.
In Calcutta. So
have you never heard the hard and fast rule that you don't eat fish in Calcutta?
No.
It's a rule.
I haven't heard it. Well, I bet there's delicious fish in Calcutta, but sometimes you'll get a hold of some
There's
bad.
delicious fish in the cargo hold of the airplane that Jeff flew back in.
So we kind of touched on this last episode, that we went up to Stillwater the other day, which is our hometown, the place where we both went to college at Oklahoma State University.
Yes.
Asher, our middle son, who is 12, went up there for the Mike Gundy youth football camp.
The Mike Gundy, famous for "I'm a man, I'm 40."
I'm 40.
Call back to the beginning of this episode.
That's right.
How old are you?
That's right. So he went to that camp on Monday, and so we made us a whole day of it. And we've talked about this, how we love a Stillwater Day. Listen to some of our earliest episodes, guys. We go way into it.
This is the first time you've ever encouraged people to go back and listen to early episodes.
Because they're bad.
No, they're not.
They're
Although I will
bad.
say that Robert Bippus did say to me, I've gone back and I've been listening from the beginning, and it's really cool to see you guys get better at this.
Well, that's very kind.
It's very kind.
Bippus.
Because when
And
he
very
said
generous.
because when he said it, I thought that better felt like a sliding scale. Like better, what is better really?
What is
it's a moving target, and we're all chasing it. Better. I get best is a destination.
Sure.
Better's a journey. While best is the Dest, better's the journey. Couldn't make it work.
Best is the Dest.
Best is the Dest. I should be a therapist because
You really
this is.
should.
Listen, let me tell you something, Miss Johnson.
Okay. Sit on this couch right here.
I know that you're struggling. Yeah. Okay. I know that life's coming at you fast, and I know that you're trying to get better, and you feel like you're not. But you know what? Best, it's the Dest. Better's the journey. That's our time. That'll be $1,200.
Same time next week.
Bill to your, what is it, co-provider? Bill your OBGYN.
Oh, God.
I'm clearly not a real doctor. I'll exit through this window. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Bye. Can you Venmo me that? Can you? Remember, best is the best. Oh! Then the real therapist comes in. What are you doing in my office? You're not scheduled for this time. Dr. Maniscalco just jumped out the window. Best is the Dest.
We need t-shirts that say best is the Dest.
I jump out the window. Best is the...
Okay, so we had a Stillwater Day on Monday, and we got to do something that was unexpected.
You're saying we. I wasn't there.
Okay, I'm
this was
sorry.
you and Crindy.
It was Crindy and me, and Harrison came with us, and Hope. So my other two kids, while Asher was at camp. Jeff was catching food poisoning at that time, or roundabouts in India. And so it was Crindy and I, and then our other two kids.
Yes.
And so we went by the high school just to show them the exterior because we thought there was no way we'd get in. While we're there,
You said it's like
Mrs.
just
Wright.
the most exclusive place ever. There was no way. It's one in, one out at best.
VIP access.
I don't even have my VIP bracelet on.
It's true. I don't have my lanyard.
Stillwater.
My
High
press
School.
pass. So while we're there, Mrs. Wright, she taught me business.
How'd that go?
Dear Mrs. Wright, okay.
The prominent businesswoman
I'm a
that you
prominent,
are.
I've got my briefcase right here.
I've got a podcast that makes $0.
I'm leading an HR workshop later. So she was like, Cindy, Crindy. She said Cindy, and she let us in the building. And listen, summer school was in sesh, so we had to keep our voices down. But we got this place to ourselves. Okay? We got to give an all-access tour to my two children.
Just running amok.
We told them-
Breakfast clubbing, they call it.
We told them all the stories.
I'm
We
sure.
told them about how you and Josh Fields, hi Josh,
Hey, Josh.
filled up a baby pool full
Yeah.
of sand.
Yeah,
Was it sand or water?
it was water.
And you put it in the hallway and had a beach day
don't
outside the
like-
counselor's office.
I don't like sand. I don't like grit in my bits. I don't like a crevasse full of
So it was a beach day. It was water.
beach shrapnel in my tuck.
Okay.
Beach shrapnel down the crack of my
So we
Took
told
us.
him that story. We, told him.
chafing. Just sand chafe. How do these beach volleyball folks do it?
Listen, that's a question for another day.
How are they not chafing?
We'll get into that when we do our
Olympic
coverage.
chafing. Yeah.
It's going to be a whole.
We're gonna bring the beach volleyball, the sand volleyball team on, and we're gonna have a chafe scale. We're gonna make them explain to us
Yeah,
where they fall.
and it won't be demeaning at all.
No,
It won't be creepy.
I don't need them.
It won't be
I'll cover the dudes,
okay. Okay.
and you got the ladies.
Okay.
and we'll do 2 separate pods.
Yeah,
And
I'm not
we'll
going to be
see
here that
which
day.
one gets more listens.
I'm not going to be here that day.
Okay. You don't even know what day it is.
I really don't. But we told them all the stories about, how we used to write notes to each other because we didn't have cell phones, and
These spoilt whippersnappers will never know.
they'll never know.
They'll never know the joy of walking out into the hall and having Sarah McElroy walk over to you with a folded note that you pull the tab on. It says pull
And
here.
it says pull because you don't know where to pull.
Tom, because I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
And you pull on it and you open it and then you the stuff that she had to say over the last hour.
Right. She wasn't paying attention in English.
No.
She was thinking only of you.
And her grammar would indicate it.
Well, I think Sarah's an
LOL.
excellent grammarian.
Okay.
But it was
I
just
bet she is. She was always a smart
good
character.
student. Yeah. It was a great
You
day.
said that like you knew. You said that like you knew Sarah McElroy, like you
We're
have
pen
her
pals.
transcript. Okay,
We're pen
you guys
pals.
exchange notes to
For
this
the
day.
last 20
To
years.
this day.
Every time I open the envelope and there's a little thing that says pull. Whoa.
Made a noise. D gave us, Sweet D, our sound effects monster, gave us a little
Keychain piano.
rubber keychain piano.
Chew.
And that's how it sounds.
That's how it sounds. This sound effect brought to you by our sound effects sponsor, Sweet D.
Sweet D.
Brandon's going to write a song on it.
It's going to be bad. Just I'm setting you up.
Okay, but the best part of the high school tour was the old gymnasium, which still smells of shellac and sweat. Decades of it.
Sure.
Decades and decades of shellac layered with sweat, layered with shellac,
Well,
sweat.
how are you going to lock in your sweat if you don't shellac it? That's longevity is what that is, right? No chafing. Longevity. Sweat, shellac.
But here's the thing about that gym. It hasn't changed an iota. It hasn't changed. Since it's built, since it's the day it was built.
Right.
The one thing that they took the bleachers out because they were dangerous.
Sure.
A lot of crush injuries.
Yeah, well,
I'm afraid.
It's a hazard of the trade.
Just
That was at one
rickety.
point. At one point, that was the hazard of living in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Is you're gonna get crushed by something.
bleachers at the football stadium or bleachers at the basketball gym.
Yeah, it's the same thing. With the first day of school, the assembly, you sat down. They said, "I want you to look to your left. I want you to look to your right." Odds are, being a Stillwater pioneer, both of those people are going to be crushed by something in our facilities.
Most likely a bleacher.
Varying severity.
Right.
Some of you won't make it.
Right.
We're going out there, and some of us aren't coming back.
Yeah.
Some of us might lose a finger. Some of us might lose an eyeball.
Maybe.
But you know what? You're all going to get crushed at some point. And if you don't, at graduation, we're crushing you. just on the way out the door. Get out there.
Just to give you something to remember us by.
Spread your wings and fly. Crush.
Well, I remembered the whole school song. You mentioned this briefly in the last episode, but I got out there in the middle of that gym and it's like my brain was flooded with the lyrics and motions to Stillwater High United. And I sang it and I did the motions and my children were impressed. And I was impressed with myself, quite frankly. I did my high kicks. I pulled a hammy.
That's what Mom said. Mom said that you sustained an injury, not a crushing injury,
No.
but a hammy injury.
A hamstring.
Well, sometimes you get overzealous
Yeah.
when you're doing high kicks. I know I do. Here's the thing.
Okay.
I'm at a stage in my life. I'm 40. Ask Randy at the Mercury Lounge. He's 46. Ask his poor wife.
I thought you didn't know his name.
I made it up.
Okay.
He never gave it to me. Never caught your name, 46.
But we're besties.
Oh, gosh, his poor wife. You could tell the look on her face was.
You can always tell those gals.
It was
or fellas.
It's the 1,000-yard stare. It's a woman who's seen some things. It's a woman who knew leaving the house that night that she was going out with her party hat on and she was about to have to strap on her babysitter bonnet at some point. Because Randy hits a point. 6 PBRs and 7 fireball shots in that he goes shark-eyed.
It's about 9:45 p.m.
His eyes roll over white like a doll's eyes, like a shark's eyes, and you can't. Literally just an emotionless drinking machine who's 46. He's been doing it, and she grabbed his arm lightly,
Yeah.
just couple gentle tugs.
Sure.
And he's, hi, brother. Hi. He told me 7 times that he was a welder.
Okay.
I know what he does for a living.
Don't know his name.
I know his age. I know he has a beleaguered wife.
Who keeps reaching into her bag for bottles of water to, here, honey, drink some.
Bottle of water for you, Percocet for me. Bottle of water for you, 2 Percocets for mama.
Oh, no.
Just got to get through.
Bless her.
Power through.
Shout out, ma'am.
Shout out, ma'am.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
So, what was I saying?
I don't know. I was talking about my high kicks.
Oh, what I was going to say is I'm 40 and I'm at a point in my life where I don't think I've crossed over into that stage of I physically cannot do the things I used to do.
Right.
Because if I needed to run fast, I could still do it. If I needed to play a pickup basketball game, I could still do it.
Right.
To varying levels of success. I can do it. The problem is I cannot recover from
The
it.
aftermath.
It's the after. And certainly within the next handful of years, there will come a time where I no longer can do the thing.
Yeah.
I'm just not there yet.
I get it.
But I cannot recover.
I get it. Hope the other day was like, Mom, watch my cartwheel. And I was like, oh, that's great. And she was like, can you do one? And I was like, I most certainly can. Did it. It was fine until the next day.
Right.
I did
Was in
multiple
traction for a week.
Did multiple cartwheels and round offs. That was impressive. And then my high kicks, again, can do them. Regret it mightily.
I'll tell you this right now.
Next day.
You don't want to catch me in a herky mood. I'll throw a herky. I'll do a pike. Round off back handspring back tuck. Pike.
Oh, you'd fall back.
Pike herky toe touch into the pool. And then I come up and I shake my hair off and see all the boys holding up the signs with 10.
Yes.
10.
Yes.
And then this guy over here gives me an 8.5.
Rude.
Trying to hit me with some heavy negs to make me feel like I'm not good enough for him.
Yeah.
Did you see this herky?
Guess what? Best is the Dest.
Best is the Dest. I'm getting better all the time.
Better is the journey.
Getting better like a bedwetter. Listen, that's a saying.
Okay.
You know who says that?
No.
Bedwetters.
People who wet the bed.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do a quick fact check from last episode. Crindy has become our fact checker of late. If you listened, you heard me tell a story about my senior trip to Senor Frogs. And I said that Crindy asked a newly married couple who they were on their honeymoon if they would take my friend Leah and I to Senor Frogs for the night. And she said, Ashley, that is absolutely untrue. They offered. I did not approach them. I did not ask them. I wouldn't do that. They said, what are these girls doing tonight? Would they like to come with us to Senor Frogs? To which Cindy did say, after the fact to me, they could have been traffickers. That wasn't a smart move. We didn't know these people.
No.
We didn't know them.
But we just needed you out of our hair.
And that could have been it.
We just needed you gone.
That could have been it. But honestly, I told Crindy that I would let the people know she did not approach the honeymooning couple. The honeymooning couple approached her. Listen to that.
1 point for traffickers.
Right.
Proactive traffickers coming up. Hey, not for nothing, but we're going to Senor Frogs.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
How old are you?
40.
No, not at this point.
They might have been. I can't even remember. Ugh. But another fun detail I remembered from that night is that I was wearing a Doc Martens sandal. Very heavy.
Heavy, clunky, chunky shoe. But they have the airwalk, like the air sole.
Yeah.
What are you doing with that?
Those things weighed a good 5 pounds each.
Yeah. That's why everyone's legs were so much stronger in the 90s.
Oh, good point.
That's science.
That's a good point.
You bunch of skinny leg dorks. Although they're coming back round.
They are.
So we're about to have a bunch of strong legs.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of strong-legged youths.
We're going to see years.
Gangs of strong-legged youths trolling the streets.
That's what I'm saying. Years down the road, the history books
doors.
will show.
Yep.
Evolutionary patterns related to Doc Martens.
It's the Doc Marten curve. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. It's generations that wear Doc Marten sandals have significantly stronger legs.
And higher high kicks. Hence,
than these namby-pambies walking around in their jellies.
And their air.
Air jellies.
Right.
Right?
Those don't weigh anything.
Lighter than air.
That's why my high kicks were so high. You'd take that sandal off, my legs would just fly up of their own
Tell
accord.
you what, you try to run, you do a high kick in one of those, and you don't strap on the back. You send one of those projectile sandals into the bleachers. Talk about a crushing injury, literally straight through the front of someone's face, through the back of their head. Just be careful. Don't sit. You've heard of the splash zone at SeaWorld. Don't sit in the sandal zone. Don't sit.
Doc zone.
The Doc Martens sandal zone, brought to you by Doc Martens, where you could lose your head. Because you got these long-legged pendulous palm girls doing high kicks in the heaviest sandals known to man. It's like a trebuchet. It's like you literally are out here with a trebuchet of destruction.
That's true.
God, a trebuchet reference on the podcast.
You've said it before, that word.
I'll say it again.
I'll say it again. I'm 40.
I forget things. I'm 40.
But I was wearing those sandals that night, and I remember someone, talk about a crush injury, stepped on my foot. That sandal filled up with blood. I do remember that.
Yeah.
It was an eventful night, but don't worry, I was chaperoned by
Some traffickers.
Oh my gosh. Okay, big news from the music world, Brandon. You're going to love this, okay? This comes to us via our field producer in New Orleans, Jonathan, okay? Several episodes back, you guys may remember that we discussed country...
A trebuchet, French trebuchet, thank you,
is what he
producer,
does.
is a type of catapult that
Don't
uses
pull that
long
up.
arm to throw a projectile. It was common, powerful siege engine until the advent of gunpowder. The design of the trebuchet allows it to launch projectiles of greater weights and at further distances than that of a traditional catapult. Look at that. Look at the picture of the trebuchet.
I'm looking at
Tell me that does not conjure images of your long gangly leg.
It does.
Affixed to a Doc Marten sandal.
It does.
Armies have fallen. Armies have fallen and nations have risen at the hands of these trebuchet legs.
Good grief. I was really setting up our news from the entertainment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Old business. History lesson. Trebuchets. Okay? There's still 7
over
unsolved
there.
deaths. 7. And they all happened at Stillwater High School events that you were palming at. And you went through, coincidentally, 7 pair of Doc Marten sandals in high school. Speaking of a murder podcast, gotcha journalism, what do you have to say for yourself? The trebuchet murderer. Women who kill. One day she snapped and fired her Doc Marten sandal as if from a French trebuchet into an advancing horde. A horde of Pioneer fans.
Listen, and you over there with your iced coffee encouraging him.
No, I have never been happy. I've never been happier with making eye contact with producer and having him just immediately Google something without me telling him.
He knows.
He knew trebuchet and he spelled it right.
He spelled it right.
Oh.
He speaks.
That was her calling card. After she trebuchets a Doc Marten sandal through your face and then Sacre bleu, trebuchet, Doc Marten.
Okay, let me get back to the entertainment biz. Are you Googling something else about trebuchets? Other medieval torture devices?
Are you Googling something else about trebuchets? Man.
Pretty good. Okay, news from the entertainment world. Several episodes back, we discussed country music star Garth Brooks' rock alter ego Chris Gaines, right? And he released an album that was supposed to accompany a movie. I believe it was called The Lamb, was the title of the movie?
Yeah. Silent B, Lamb.
Where he would play the fictional character Chris Gaines. Because this is indeed a fictional character. Rock alter ego.
I'm sorry. He's very real.
He's very real. So according to online news outlet A Taste of Country, Garth Brooks told Billboard that he plans to release 5 more Chris Gaines albums.
Yeah.
5 more, you guys. We're not sure when he's going to do this. He's not sure when he's going to do this, but he's determined to do it. How do you feel about that, Brandon?
Too many.
Too many albums.
I did know about this because you sent it to me earlier. That was showbiz, me acting like I didn't know it. And I told my friends, and here were the comments that were made about it.
Okay.
I said 5 albums, and Ted's response was,
Hi, Ted.
like 5? Like really? 5? We need 5? Yeah. And I said, it feels like a lot. And then I said, exponential gains. And Cody said,
Stellar.
With,
Hi, Cody.
With diminishing returns. And I thought that was the best. That should be the box set title. Exponential gains with diminishing returns. It's
good.
Factual.
Yeah.
It's wordplay.
Clever.
It's a little winking at itself.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's like a you go girl. You know, thank you for agreeing with that. But no, it feels like a lot. Like
it's a lot of
pare it down to the one.
Or just,
Bub,
do we need another one?
does Chris Gaines need to be that prolific? He doesn't need to be, but if he does in fact be, let's make him less.
He said, by he I mean Garth, he said...
Not Chris Gaines. He didn't say anything.
He didn't say anything. He said that he might be 114 years old when this happens, but he is bound and determined to get these albums out.
That is...
So be looking for that.
The funny thing about it is, it's not as if Garth Brooks doesn't have the means and the capability to have already put these albums out. What's he waiting on?
Well, and my question is, isn't he at the pinnacle of everything?
I mean, he's kinda.
But he has reached the heights, the highest. What was it? The something.
At some point, he still might be, but at some point, he was the highest selling solo artist of all time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, honestly, he must really care about this project, and I respect it. If you care a lot about something and you want to get it out there, but do we really need to? And so maybe it's going to be great. Maybe we'll all be surprised. I don't know. Okay, big news from the Nextdoor app.
Elvis Presley is recognized as the highest selling artist of all time, but the second thing is Garth Brooks the highest selling artist of all time?
Okay, well, he's up there. We know he's up there for sure. Let's see, big news from the Nextdoor app. Big news, huge.
Okay, bigger than the Chris Gaines news?
Pretty big.
Strap in.
And I was thinking you could help. It could be...
You thought wrong. I was thinking you could help. You thought wrong. The Brandon Birdwell story.
This could be symbiotic, okay? There was someone on Nextdoor looking for a spot for her miniature horse to stay. This horse is 26 years old.
Are you saying that I can help by letting the horse stay here?
In your backyard, maybe.
I don't think
it will scare the gophers away.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
You know, fun fact, gophers hate mini horses.
Well, that's what I've heard.
It's a fact about them.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. It could be symbiotic.
It's on the gopher
So I
wiki.
went ahead and gave her your contact info.
That's great.
Here's the bad news. Most miniature horses only have a lifespan of 25 to 30 years.
And it's 26.
This one's 26.
That's a dead mini horse walking.
Really is.
It's a dead. You're trying to pawn off a dead mini. Is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you wheeling it around in a wheelchair and does it have sunglasses on? Is this mini horse weekend at Bernie's? Are you weekend at Bernie'sing me with your mini horse to pawn it off on me?
With your weekend at Lil Sebastian's.
And you got a bit of fishing wire tied around your wrist so that when you raise your hand, the mini horse like marionette waves at you.
Listen, it's going to scare away the gophers.
It's going to scare me away.
Bye bye, Lil Sebastian.
So good. Literally one of the times Ron Swanson reacts in the happiest way you've ever seen him react is when he sees little Sebastian. He giggles and sprints. And neither of these are Ron Swanson behaviors.
It's so good. You're 5,000 candles in the wind.
What's better than a candle in the wind? 5,000 candles in the wind.
It's so good. Okay, this is the very dramatic other news from the Nextdoor app. I don't think you're ready for this.
More dramatic than the weekend at Bernie's mini horse?
Okay, here's what it says.
Okay.
Whoever put a tracking device on our cat, and I'm redacting the name. I'm actually going to sub it with Mr. Tibbs.
Okay.
Whoever put a tracking device on our cat, Mr. Tibbs, you'll know by now that the device is at our home. If you did that out of concern, thank you. If you did this to be malicious, well, we already know who you are and shame on you. What do you think that's about?
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to know who this sociopath is putting tracking devices on other people's kitty cats.
Right? And for what purpose?
It makes cat track.
Cat track.
Cattrack.com. You want to track a cat around town? Here's Mr. Tibbs. What'd he get into today? What maybe there's something like, what if we find out that at one point during the day, every single neighborhood cat is in the exact same place at the exact same time, like having meetings, plotting
the cat council,
plotting the overthrow of society. Meanwhile, the squirrels are over here doing their thing, rival factions.
Nobody's tracking them. You can't catch them.
They're squirrely.
They're
They're squirrely. Good luck pinning them down.
You can catch a cat though.
Yeah, well, so they're domesticated creatures. But if a cat, dude, listen, cats are buttheads. They will scratch. I like a cat, but
Do you really?
we grew up with cats. I like a cat.
We do. I have since changed my opinion. It's not that I dislike a cat. I just don't have any desire to.
You don't trust them,
Yeah.
especially now that I know about these meetings.
Right. Cats don't need me.
You know what they need?
What?
To be tracked. Let's get out there.
But why would you track a cat unless you wanted the cat for yourself and you were trying to determine if the cat already had a home?
Or if you were trying to learn, that's crazy.
It's kind of weird.
Just ask the cat.
Yeah, just ask
Hey,
him.
cat,
You got a house?
you got a home? Or
Okay.
just take the cat's collar off and throw it in the ditch. Be like, this cat didn't have a collar.
This cat's
My cat now.
My cat now.
Yeah.
Might be microchipped.
Well, you're okay.
I just find this very odd.
I think,
and the vitriol would, if we know who you are, and shame on you.
well, I agree with them though.
It's so
Normally, the
strange.
people that take to the neighborhood app with their grievances are, I do not side with. But in this particular case, I kind of side with them. I don't need my animal returning home after a day of boot with a tracking device.
Yeah.
I don't need you monitoring my gato.
What if someone put a tracker on Leo?
Would
Would that creep you out majorly?
for sure?
It's so weird.
They'd see him wandering around my house. I mean, they wouldn't get much out of it. Oh, looks like Leo's going out to make his peeps and poops. Like you're not.
But what?
Leo got the zoomies. He's running around the living room.
I just need to know more. Why would you do this? For what purpose? To what end?
It's best not to ask these sorts of questions lest we find ourselves down a sinister rabbit hole that we do not want to be in.
There's some conspiracy theories at work here, I'm afraid.
Well, for real. And also, what manner of tracking device? Was it hidden? Was it concealed? Was it just a big, like, a visible tracking device?
All it says is tracking device. How is your algorithm?
I was literally just going through my phone while you were telling that story, trying to determine what new stuff in my algorithm I have. And this week, I don't, like, I was scrolling and I've been getting a ton of Taylor Swift posts.
Okay.
Because apparently she's on tour. There's one.
I was talking about her Eras tour and how I was getting her things, and so maybe your algorithm heard me.
Let me show you this video that I pulled off of her Instagram. Arenas fill to watch this. Does this not look like someone's aunt after one too many Rieslings? Just arenas fill to watch this.
I think she's beautiful. Guys, she's dancing in a flowy lime green dress.
She looks like she's in the kitchen in Practical Magic.
She looks beautiful. She's got great bangs.
What is this? What is this move?
She's grooving. She's flowing her scarf out. Here's the thing about Taylor Swift. We've talked about this, and we need to talk about her album because Mia, our Gen Z listener,
I know. I still need to review it, and I'm going to.
Okay.
And I listened to it.
Okay. Well then.
Listen. Better is the journey. Best is the Dest.
Best is the Dest. But I feel like Taylor missed me.
Well, it wasn't your sweet spot.
No, but I have a lot of friends who are Swifties because their daughters are Swifties.
Oh, and Hope's too young to be a Swiftie yet.
Yeah, she's not really a Swiftie. She knows a couple songs, but like she's not really into the music. And so I look at Taylor and what I see is a gorgeous young woman.
Sure.
Who has overcome a lot of obstacles to become the greatest selling solo artist of all time. Is she?
Her name is Chris Gaines, and she is the number one selling.
She wears a lime green flowy dress. No, but I admire Taylor. I don't
first name basis.
get it.
First name basis.
But I think she's lovely. She has not struck a chord with me like she has the rest of the nation.
And it is the rest of the nation.
It really is.
It's shocking.
It is.
How popular.
It is.
And so as I've gotten older, welcome to Maturity Corner with Brandon, where we talk about how I've grown tremendously in my life. I'm 40. Listen,
Because you're 40. Yeah.
Young Brandon was very cynical about certain aspects around music.
Yes, he was.
And would be very like, no, that sucks.
Judgy.
Like,
I liked
totally.
them before they were cool. He was that guy. He still is that guy.
I liked me before I was cool. I'm still not. And so I love me. I'm great because I'm indie. Just as a human, I'm under the radar. Nobody knows how cool I am. Yeah. I cry a lot. Listen, this Maturity Corner brought to you by the pint of Haagen-Dazs I'm going to eat and cry into in a moment. Happy birthday, Susan. Listen, guys, but as I've gotten older, I'm more about like, I can look at it objectively and say like, a lot of people like this.
Yeah.
It must be something.
Yeah.
And if it's not for me necessarily,
that's okay.
Because here's the thing. I know that she is upset about it because I know when Taylor Swift sits down to write a song, she thinks there's a 40-year-old white in the middle of America who I'm going to write this song for. I care so much what Brandon Birdwell thinks about this song. A 40-year-old man. No, I'm not editing that out. She's not writing her songs for me is what I'm saying.
No.
And she does
You're
not.
not her target audience.
She does not care what I think.
She doesn't need to.
You know why? Because
honestly.
she's twirling in a flowy gown on stage.
Yeah.
In front of.
She's doing it.
And I'm not.
You could be.
I'm sitting here on my high horse. Ugh.
You could have done that last night.
I've got a podcast.
Costume change.
Taylor Swift. I've got a podcast. What do you got? Eras.
The hearts of everyone on the globe.
We've got 50 reviews. 50 of them. And then we had to claw every one of them out of you jabronis.
Guys, leave us a review.
We had to beg, borrow, and steal to get these 50 reviews from you chuckleheads. Taylor, what do you got? What else you got?
Okay. So you've got a lot of Taylor in your algorithm. Sounds like.
It's been a lot. Well, I think it's funny because I've been getting a lot of live music, and these are the 3 acts that I've been getting literally bombarded with. And I think it's my fault for clicking on them.
Okay.
Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Paramore.
Okay.
Metallica.
Okay.
Right?
Just weird.
A smattering.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been getting.
Okay.
And I don't know what to do with it.
You know what else you've been getting? Bathroom baby back ribs.
Oh, yeah.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
I've seen worse.
Ugh, it is awful.
I've seen worse.
Guys.
It's a dude who's in a okay. Gross, sure.
Yeah. Awful.
Can we applaud the ingenuity though?
No.
Okay. What the guy does is he takes ribs and he prepares them as if you would prepare any other ribs. Dry rub, gets them ready to go. But then he puts them in a pillowcase in a hotel bathroom and then heats the inside of the pillowcase with the hotel hairdryer for 4 hours.
Do you think that's real?
It's on the internet.
Okay.
And if it's on the internet, it's got to be real.
But it was so upsetting to see the way he just slopped everything around in the hotel room. You know, housekeeping is.
I was about to say,
him.
I'll tell you who's not a fan of bathroom ribs in a hotel. Housekeeping.
Also, they'll probably call the cops. Looks like a crime scene.
They probably should.
Barbecue sauce everywhere?
Everywhere.
Terrible. It was the worst thing.
Terrible.
I did not enjoy anything about that video. I'll post it in the algorithm round.
My favorite thing about that video was your reaction to that video.
Worst thing I've ever seen.
I loved it so much.
So bad.
Though I'm pretty sure you just said no.
No. Nope. I'd like to thank your beautiful bride, Lindsay, for getting me into the reptile algorithm. I don't even like reptiles. I don't trust them.
Well, they're not to be trusted. They're cold-blooded.
I don't trust them.
They're cold-blooded.
The first thing she sent me was one of a fancy bearded dragon wearing a suit.
He's fancy.
At a dining table eating like mealworms or something.
Okay.
And he reminded me of our former bearded dragon. Gimli, son of Chloe.
Look at the memory on this guy.
Look at you.
I'm 40, but I still remember Gimli.
Guys, we had a bearded dragon. We learned that we were not equipped to be a big lizard family. We could handle Gimli when he was a little guy, but those things grow big.
Well, did you just keep him in a terrarium?
Oh, of course but he got really big. He got a little aggressive. And so we found a wonderful woman who knows lizards.
Gimli's on a farm somewhere.
He is. He's doing great.
It means you killed Gimli.
We
That's
didn't.
what it means.
I promise you we didn't.
Blink twice if you killed Gimli.
I blinked once. Anyway, she
did. She blinked once, guys.
Lindsay also sent me the weirdest but also the most charming video from cutest_frogs. And it was a little frog at like a tiny little roadside stand that said jams and such.
Okay.
Surrounded by tiny little jars of jelly. And it said, would you buy his jams?
I would.
I would too.
Yeah. Just to see what it's about.
I don't even like frogs.
But I love their jams.
I love their jams.
Jams.
So that sparked a whole lot more reptiles. So thanks for that, Lindsay.
Great.
Viola Davis posted, she's a great follow, guys.
I thought the way you said Viola Davis was the way that if you're preaching a sermon, you're about to do a quote. Yeah. I thought you were going to go, Viola Davis says it like this. And then you give the quote from what Viola Davis said. Viola Davis once said.
She has some wisdom on this topic. She posted a video of a little girl doing the Miss Universe impressions.
Okay.
Like, France!
Yeah.
That whole thing. It is so darling. I'll share that one as well. Another funny thing that I've watched no less than 10 times, just a video of someone baking a cake.
Okay.
And it says, your inspiration, you are inspiration to make a Bieber cake. And it's the picture off the front of Baby, like Justin Bieber's Baby.
Sure. What? I'm not a believer. I don't know what Baby is.
You do know what it is. It's the creepiest thing I've ever seen, but the funniest. It's like that show Nailed It, where it's just like a cake fail.
Nailed It's pretty
I've
good.
watched it so many times. Also, I'm on this thing called Facts Checker, and I got this thing that shows how deep the ocean really is.
Oh, at the Mariana Trench.
Yes.
The deepest point of the ocean.
The Mariana Trench. That if you put Mount Everest into the trench, its peak would still be underwater by more than 1.2 miles. That's deep.
That's deep.
That's deep.
Oh, that's deep.
Nerd Ferguson. What you been watching, reading, or listening to?
Watched Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's a visceral reaction to Can't Hardly Wait.
It is such a snapshot.
It's great.
Of our high school experience.
It's very great.
Oh, it's so good.
And, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
I had quite the time.
Good.
I don't want to say this, but I watched the Mer People thing.
The whole thing? The whole docuseries?
Wiki watched it.
What'd you think?
Did you just hear that?
It was great.
Place where they are is called Wikiwatchy, and I said Wiki watched it.
Wiki watched
off
it.
the top.
But
Yeah.
Well done. What'd you think of it?
I really liked it.
It's so good, you guys.
I liked it so much. We watched it, and
What a bunch of characters, huh?
I hate myself
Okay. Well,
normally.
but not after that.
No more now.
Okay.
More now.
Blick Tsunami, Sparkles, Mermaid Hannah.
Sparkles was a choke artist. She could never deliver in the big show.
She did, though.
No, she didn't. She got in the tank and went hypothermic immediately.
Her facial expressions were lovely.
Yeah, until she went hypothermic immediately.
Well,
if you're going to come to the big dance,
in Vegas,
you better be able to not go hypothermic in the tank.
Listen, we would go hypothermic so fast.
Yeah,
people with Raynaud's phenomenon have no business in a tank.
There's a reason you don't see mer people with Raynaud's.
We couldn't hack it in the big dance.
They're the ones that get they're sent out, exiled from the tribe. Just go die on your own, cold idiot. Swim off into the distance.
It's so good. I'm so glad you watched it.
I am equal parts glad and disappointed in myself.
I'm so happy.
Okay, well.
We finished the last Ted Lasso.
Same.
Last night. I finished it last night. Jeff, okay, do you
Barfing in the bathroom.
Well, do you and Lindsay like vow to not watch certain things without one another?
If it's a specific show sometimes, like if there's a show that we watch together, but we also have a lot of shows that we watch independently and just do our thing. Most of them,
so
in
like
fact.
Mer People, you're going to finish together. So Jeff, it was my understanding that we were in this together because we've watched every episode of Ted Lasso together. He watched it in India. I was waiting the whole week.
But he watched it in Indian.
No, he did not.
He doesn't know what happened.
No, he didn't.
Listen, the man barfed in the sky for 6 hours straight. Cut him a break.
He betrayed me.
Cut him some slack.
And watched Ted Lasso. Man, I felt like they did a really nice job with that episode.
I have opinions, but they're mostly good.
Yeah,
but
for as quickly as they had to tie it up.
it was too fast. That was most of my beef is centered around the speed at which they felt the need to tie it up. So, anyways.
But generally speaking, I thought they did a nice job with that.
They're going to do a spinoff.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that him saying, well, I don't want to spoil it. If this is a spoiler, guys, but him on Trent's book saying, take my name off of it, it was never about me anyways. Yes. I think that is a nod to the fact that the show's name is going to change and is going to go in a different direction.
Agree.
You heard it here, not at all first, because that's all over the internet, but you heard it here sort of first.
Sure. We're going to take credit for that. Guys, I watched the Duggar documentary, Shiny
So
Happy
did Lindsay.
People.
I didn't watch it.
Oof. Yay. Also started Bama Rush documentary.
I've seen that. Hated it.
Goodness.
Hated it.
Goodness. Don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it.
Yeah, hated it.
I've been watching a lot of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Love it.
Yeah, the first couple seasons were good.
That's it. Okay, as we wind down today, can we ask something of you guys? Truly, if you haven't left a rating or review for the pod, would you please do that for us?
Need it.
We have no clue how, but it helps us be more visible.
Yeah.
And it helps more people find us and join the CHWH Nation.
Yeah, totally.
So anyway, what's your warm heart?
All the dudes and fellas and folks that were buddies that came out to see me play this weekend. It was just great to reconnect with friends and see everybody. So
good. Mine is realizing that Ellie girl, our puppy that we've been telling you guys about, that she's home and she feels comfortable with us, I think, and it's been going really well.
We swapped. You did Friends last week and I did Dog, and now it's Dog and Friends. Check it out, guys. Welcome back to Dog and Friends, the warmest, hardest. What? Shut up. They can't all be home runs. Hey, guys, thanks for listening to Cold Hands, Warm Hearts. See you when we see you. It's going. Remember, best is the Dest.
He's 40. Bye.